Assalamu alaikum students. We are going to study about reproduction. Reproduction is the blueprint of life and exploration of life, two fundamental reproductive strategies. आज हम reproduction के बारे में स्टडी करेंगे प्लांट्स के अंदर और ये ज़िंदगी में बहुत अहम ये एक अमल होता है reproduction. इसी की बुनियाद पर तमाम जानदार अपनी नस्ल को आइंदा बाकी रखते हैं और किसी भी जानदार की बका और उसकी आइंदा नस्ल के चलने की बुनियाद इसी अमल पर होती है. तो वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट process of the life, that is the reproduction, and especially reproduction in plants. Let us go ahead. I am Dr. Muhammad Nasir Kiani. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my class.
When we think about the amazing things life can do, our minds usually jump to stuff like consciousness or flight or sight. But what if I told you that life's greatest, most mind-boggling trick is actually something much more fundamental? It's the simple, incredible ability to just make more of itself. This is reproduction, and it's the engine that has been driving everything on this planet for billions of years. So let's just get right into it. How does that actually work? How does life make more life? How does a single cell or a plant or an animal create a whole new organism from itself? You'd think with all the incredible diversity out there, there must be millions of different ways to do it. But it turns out, life's playbook is surprisingly simple. And that's really the secret. Despite all the different creatures we see, from the tiniest microbe to the biggest whale, it all, and I mean all of it, boils down to just two. Two master plans for continuing the chain of existence. That's it. Just two. So here's our plan for today. We're going to start by looking at those two master plans. Then we'll zoom in on one of them, what I like to call the art of the copy. We'll meet some of nature's most remarkable clones, see how plants have absolutely mastered the skill, and then we'll finish with the ultimate evolutionary question. Is it better to be varied, or is it better to be perfect? All right, let's pull back the curtain on those two playbooks. Because honestly, if you understand this one single distinction, everything else just clicks into place. Okay, first, just a quick baseline so we're all on the same page. The official definition of reproduction is pretty simple. It's just the process where organisms make new organisms of their own kind. Seems obvious, right? But it's the how, the different methods, and the massive trade-offs that reveals the real genius of life. And here it is. This is the great divide, the fundamental fork in the road for all life. On one side, you have sexual reproduction. You can think of this as the remix strategy. It takes two parents, fuses their genetic material, their gametes, and creates a brand new, genetically unique offspring. On the other side, you have asexual reproduction. This is the photocopy strategy. It takes one parent and makes a perfect identical clone. Remixing versus copying. This single difference changes absolutely everything. So for the rest of our time here, we're going to put the remix strategy aside and dive deep into that second one. Welcome to the art of the copy, the truly fascinating world of asexual reproduction. Now let that really sink in. The word is identical. This isn't just a family resemblance, you have your mother's eyes. No, this is a perfect genetic duplicate, a biological copy and paste. And think about it. If a parent is perfectly suited to its environment, why would you want to change anything? This is a strategy for perfection. So how does life actually pull off this copy-paste magic? Well, it has a whole toolkit of different methods. We're going to explore 4 of the most ingenious ones, something called binary fission, then budding, spore formation, and a special trick that plants have absolutely perfected called vegetative propagation. Okay, let's get our hands dirty and look at these cloning methods up close. You're about to see nature's original copy-paste function in action, from the simplest bacteria all the way to the plants in your own backyard. First up is binary fission, and the name really says it all. Binary means two, and fission means splitting. Just imagine a single cell simply stretching itself out and then pinching in the middle until it becomes two. It is the ultimate act of self-duplication, and it's the go-to method for countless bacteria and amoebas. And the process itself is just a masterclass in efficiency. First, the cell makes a perfect copy of its genetic blueprint, its DNA. Then it starts to stretch and begins to pinch inward. And finally, a new wall forms right down the middle, and boom, Where there was one, now there are two identical daughter cells. No fuss, no partners, just pure, rapid duplication. Next up, we've got budding. This is a little bit different. Instead of splitting cleanly in two, a small bud, like a perfect little mini-me, starts to grow right off the parent's body. Once it's big enough, it can just break away and start a new life. This is the strategy used by yeast, the very same organism that makes our bread rise. Then there's spore formation, which is all about survival. Imagine creating a tiny, armored-up version of yourself. Spores are basically reproductive cells that are wrapped in a super tough protective wall. They can survive heat, drought, pretty much anything you throw at them. They just wait, sometimes for years, until conditions are right, and then they spring back to life. It is nature's ultimate escape pod, perfected by fungi like bread mold. All right, now let's turn our attention to the plant kingdom, because plants have taken cloning to a whole other level. They have a specialized method that you have almost certainly seen, maybe without even realizing what was happening. It's called vegetative propagation, and it is remarkable. You can forget about seeds. A whole new plant can grow from just a piece of the parent, a clipping of a stem, a bit of root, or even a single leaf. And the huge advantage of this method? Speed. It is often dramatically faster than waiting for a tiny seed to germinate and grow. And what's really cool is that this happens in two main ways. There's the natural route, where plants just do this all on their own as part of their life cycle. But then there's the artificial route, where we humans have learned to hijack this amazing ability. Every single time a gardener takes a cutting or grafts a branch, they are tapping into this ancient cloning superpower. And just look at how incredibly versatile plants are with this. Just using their stems, they've developed all of these different methods. You've got runners, those long stems that strawberry plants send out to create new little plantlets. You have tubers, which we all know as potatoes. Every single eye can sprout a brand new plant. Then you have rhizomes, like the ginger root you buy at the store, and bulbs, like onions. Each one is a totally different evolutionary solution to the exact same goal: clone yourself. Okay, so we've seen how powerful and efficient making perfect copies can be. But that brings us right back to the big picture and to the fundamental trade-off that every living thing on this planet faces. This table really lays it all out. The remix strategy, sexual reproduction, its superpower is genetic variation. Every offspring is a new roll of the dice, a new experiment. This is absolutely amazing for adapting to a changing world. But it's slow and you have to find a partner. The photocopy strategy, asexual reproduction, bets everything on speed imperfection. If you've got a winning formula, why change it? Just copy it, fast. But this is also its Achilles heel. With no variation, a single new disease or a change in the climate could wipe out the entire identical population in one fell swoop. So this leaves us with the ultimate question. In the unpredictable game of survival, what is the smarter bet? Is it better to adapt, creating endless new variations in the hope that one of them will be a winner? Or is it better to perfect a winning formula and just replicate it as fast as you possibly can? As far as we can tell, life itself hasn't decided, so it just continues to play both sides.